Mimosa pudica is a creeping annual or perennial herb often grown for its curiosity value. The compound leaves fold inward and droop when touched or shaken, to protect them from predators, reopening minutes later. The species is native to South America and Central America, but is now a pantropical weed. It grows mostly in shady areas, under trees or shrubs. Description: the stem is erect in young plants, but becomes creeping or trailing with age. It can hang very low and become floppy. The stem is slender, branching, and sparsely to densely prickly, growing to a length of 1.5 am. The leaves of the Mimosa pudica are compound leaves. The leaves are bipinnately compound, with 1 or 2 pinnae pairs, and 10–26 leaflets per pinna. The petioles are also prickly. Pedunculate pale pink or purple flower heads arise from the leaf axils in midsummer with more and more flowers as the plant gets older. The globose to ovoid heads are 8–10 mm in diameter. On close examination, it is seen that the floret petals are red in their upper part and the filaments are pink to lavender. The fruit consists of clusters of 2–8 pods from 1–2 cm long each, these being prickly on the margins. The pods break into 2–5 segments and contain pale brown seeds some 2.5 mm long. The flowers are pollinated by the wind and insects. The seeds have hard seed coats which restrict germination. Plant movement. Mimosa pudica is well known for its rapid plant movement. Like a number of other plant species, it undergoes changes in leaf orientation termed sleep, or nixionastic movement. The foliage closes during darkness and reopens in light. This was first studied by the French scientist Jean-Jacques Dortis de Mairon. The leaves also close under various other stimuli, such as touching, warming, blowing, or shaking. These types of movements have been termed seismonastic movements. The movement occurs when specific regions of cells lose turgor pressure, which is the force that is applied onto the cell wall by water within the cell vacuoles and other cell contents. When the plant is disturbed, specific regions on the stems are stimulated to release chemicals including potassium ions which force water out of the cell vacuoles and the water diffuses out of the cells, producing a loss of cell pressure and cell collapse. This differential turgidity between different regions of cells results in the closing of the leaflets and the collapse of the leaf petiole. This characteristic is quite common within the Mimosoidae subfamily of the legume family, Fabaceae. The stimulus can also be transmitted to neighboring leaves. It is not known exactly why Mimosa pudica evolved this trait, but many scientists think that the plant uses its ability to shrink as a defense from herbivores. Animals may be afraid of a fast-moving plant and would rather eat a less active one. Another possible explanation is that the sudden movement dislodges harmful insects. Taxonomy and Nomenclature. Mimosa pudica was first formally described by Carl Linnaeus and species Plentrum in 1753. The species epithet, pudica, is Latin for bashful, or shrinking, alluding to its shrinking reaction to contact. Common names. The species is known by numerous common names including, sensitive plant, humble plant, shameful plant, sleeping grass, touch-me-not, shumi, ant plant. Non-English common names in other European language culture areas include na pound omi token Portugal, Africa, and Rio de Janeiro. It is also known as dorm, sensitive, and dormadeira elsewhere in Brazil. In Spanish, it varies in names such as Mora Viva or Mora Viva and Dormilona. In Austronesia names vary more. In the Philippines it is called Macaya, with Maka meaning quite, or tendency to be, and Haya meaning shy, or shyness, while in Tonga for example it is known as Mataloai, being Putri Malal in Indonesia and Pekok Semalal in Malaysia. In Sinhala it is called Ndikamba. In South Asia many unrelated names are also common. In Hindi it is known as Chhui Mui. In Bengali, the shrub is known as Lojaboti. In Malayalam it is called Thottavodi. In Marathi it is called Lazalu. In Tamil, it is called Thottasaninji and in Canada, it is known as Mutadare Muni. In Burmese it is called Hti Yon, which means crumbles when touched. In Liberia it is known as the pickleweed. Distribution. Mimosa pudica is native to South America and Central America. It has been introduced to many other regions and is regarded as an invasive species in Tanzania, South Asia and Southeast Asia and many Pacific islands. It is regarded as invasive in parts of Australia and is a declared weed in the Northern Territory and Western Australia, although not naturalised there. Control is recommended in Queensland. It has also been introduced to Nigeria, Seychelles, Mauritius and East Asia but is not regarded as invasive in those places. In the United States of America, it grows in Florida, Hawaii, Virginia, Maryland, Puerto Rico, Texas, and the Virgin Islands. Agricultural impacts. The species can be a troublesome weed in tropical crops, particularly when fields are hand-cultivated. Crops it tends to affect are corn, coconuts, tomatoes, cotton, coffee, bananas, soybeans, papaya, and sugarcane. Dry thickets may become a fire hazard. In some cases it has become a forage plant, although the variety in Hawaii is reported to be toxic to livestock. Mimosa pudica can form root nodules that are habitable by nitrogen-fixing bacteria. The bacteria are able to convert atmospheric nitrogen, which plants cannot use, into a form that plants can use. This trait is common among plants in the Fabaceae family. Cultivation. In cultivation, this plant is most often grown as an indoor annual, but is also grown for ground cover. Propagation is generally by seed. Chemical constituents. Mimosa pudica contains the toxic alkaloid mimosine, which has been found to also have antiproliferative and apoptotic effects. The extracts of Mimosa pudica immobilize the filiform larvae of Strongyloid stercoralis in less than 1 hour. Aqueous extracts of the roots of the plant have shown significant neutralizing effects in the lethality of the venom of the monocled cobra. It appears to inhibit the myotoxicity and enzyme activity of cobra venom. See also, exotic plants, Mimosa pigra. References. External links. A list of notable chemical compounds found in Mimosa pudica. View occurrences of Mimosa pudica in the Biodiversity Heritage Library. Sensitive plant page by Dr. T. Ombrello. Fact sheet from the Queensland Department of Agriculture, Fisheries and Forestry. Page about Nick Shinasty and leaf movement of Mimosa pudica by John Hodson. YouTube video. Mimosa pudica, Indiana. Edu Plants in Motion videos of Mimosa pudica, 1 and 2, video, Mimosa pudica sensitive, Guide to Culture. Ethnoplants.com. Retrieved October 12, 2009 A.